Dr. Barbara Bunn McCullough, CEO of Brighter Beginnings, where every family matters and every child deserves a happy, healthy future. Today is Family Day, a national holiday. What a great day for us to launch our first virtual fundraising event. And today we're celebrating playing together, an incredibly important part of healthy families. And to kick us off, I'd like to introduce you to Corey Michaels. Hi, Corey. Corey will be your host and auctioneer for the next hour. And please have fun and please give generously. Thank you.
Oh, and thank you for being here with us. The very first virtual event for Brighter Beginnings. It is Playing Together virtual event and online auction. Now, we're all about raising money and funds for Brighter Beginnings, but more importantly, because of the services and because of the programs that Brighter Beginnings has, we're really raising money to save lives and better the lives of our families and especially our children throughout the Bay Area. And because of your help, because of your love and support, we're going to be able to make it through. And these families are going to be able to not just survive, but they're going to thrive because of you and because of the programs with Brighter Beginnings. My name's Corey Michaels, and along with the crew here at the Auction Frogs studio, we have Kayla and Christy with Auction Frogs working hard on the computers, and then, of course, Brad and Alice with Ellsberg Studio, that's making all the virtual magic happen today. And as we make this through our fundraising efforts today, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to tell you a lot about what's happening with the different programs with Brighter Beginnings. And I want to say congratulations, because half of the battle is already done. You're watching, which means you actually got on. Now, if you haven't already started your online bidding, okay, real easy to do. You can just grab your phone and text the word BB Family, like Brighter Beginnings, BB Family to 555-888. You're going to get a link sent back to you. That'll take you right to the online auction. It'll take you just a few seconds to be able to get registered on there. And by getting registered, you're going to be in for a $100 gift card to Amazon. And make sure and share this out to your friends, because share it to your family. And when they get registered, you're going to be in again for referring them for another $100 Amazon gift card. And everyone they refer out to is going to get in for that $100 gift card as well. So we want this to be good for everyone, but most importantly, we want this to be good for the families and the children that are benefited because of Brighter Beginnings and all of the wonderful work that they do.
A baby is born, its first welcome wail a cry for life. At that instant, she has no awareness of the family, neighborhood, or community into which she has made her entrance. She has simply arrived. If these kids are lucky, their families have the knowledge, resources, and social support to instill in them the physical and mental fitness, resiliency, and self-esteem necessary to respond to the rigors of life. 1 in 4 children born in the East Bay, their families do not. Brighter Beginnings' mission is to break down that divide. We believe that every child, no matter the family situation, deserves the same opportunities. And all parents, regardless of circumstance, share similar hopes and dreams for their families.
¿Quién es?
Mami.
¿Y quién más?
Anthony.
Anthony? I don't regret my son, but I wish I could have waited a little bit. But I think that if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be who I am now. I just do what I can and try to do my best. After working with Brighter Beginnings, I just put everything to the side. I'm more mature now. I see things different. And now, my family and I have a better relationship. And we all just, try to be a family. Brighter Beginnings has helped a lot.
For African American moms, we have a special Black infant health program that provides social support and empowerment, prenatal and postnatal parenting groups that also focuses on the Black family experiences. Because compared to white babies, African American babies are around twice as likely to be born too small and be born too early and die before reaching their first birthday. Families are at the heart of everything we do. We treat them with respect and meet them where they are without judgment.
How old are you?
How old are you?
He's fascinating. I'm Maury. Look at he's so smiling. Look. Okay. Right now, I am working part-time. You know, I want to finish school. That's up to me. That's what it means to me as far as being successful, is to finish school and whatever. I mean, I want to be like a therapist or, you know, something along those lines. It's true that, you know, in order to get things, you have to get up and go get them. But some people just need just that support, and just for more families to know about the resources and to know, you know, if you need us, we're here, and not to feel intimidated by how they're going to be treated, you know, based on their financial status or, you know, whatever the case may be. But, you know, just to have that support within the community. How old are you? Huh? You diss Mimi?
Do you?
Yeah.
Our work with fathers includes a 9-week fatherhood support group, individual coaching and case management, and Daddy and Me play groups.
I think it's really great for dads. It's really great for the kids to just have their dads there. And I think it's great for the dads to talk to other dads, just letting those walls down. I think a lot of younger dads who might not have anyone to talk to about things. I really feel like it's helped me to just be a better father. You know, it's really helped me to understand like the kids a lot more, understand how the kids interact with each other. After the first couple times of going to Brighter Beginnings, doing the Daddy and Me, I really just let go of all that and just say, you know, I'm a dad and my children are sponges willing to learn, and as a father, and my wife feels the same way, as a mom, as parents, we also need to be sponges because we don't have all the answers.
Strengthening, the framework for every aspect of our work, is a deliberate process of giving parents the necessary opportunities, relationships, networks, and support to raise healthy children and thrive as a family unit. If you believe every family matters, we invite you to learn more about Brighter Beginnings. Our hope is that you'll become involved in this important endeavor.
Yes, every child matters, every family matters. And for the different programs that are offered because of Brighter Beginnings, every family gets the attention that they deserve, that they need. These children, from before they're born, through the pregnancy, after the fact, and making sure that the family as a whole is healthy, both mentally, physically, financially, that they are cared for, and that they have that cheerleader behind them, because feeling alone is one of the darkest places that you can ever be. But because of the caring staff and the clinicians with Brighter Beginnings, they have that ally, they have that friend, they have that cheerleader rooting them on, teaching them, coaching them, and making sure that they have the brightest beginning, but the brightest future because of Brighter Beginnings. Now, if you're getting in on all the online auctions, and I hope that you are right now, if you haven't yet, you can be able to do that by texting BB Family to 555 888. Get that link, get registered, get in for that $100 Amazon gift card, and then make sure and share it. Share that out with your friends and your family. Whether they're across the country or across the world, everyone can be a part of this, and everyone can help to provide brighter beginnings. So make sure and get those shares going. And if you haven't already, you might have noticed you do need to have 2 tabs or 2 different screens going so that you can be going through all the online auction items and watching the event as well. Now, you can do that a couple of different ways. You can be watching it on your TV linked to your streaming device right now. You can watch it on your computer with your family, or you can be able to have a couple of tabs open, because while you're watching on the screen, you'll have to have your phone or another tab open on your computer so that you can be able to have that and toggle back and forth between bidding on your auction items and watching the event. We don't want you to miss out on any of the action. And because of Auction Frogs, you won't have to, because you'll get a notification every time someone outbids you. So you remember, you might have been to fundraisers in the past where someone walks up behind you as soon as you walk away from writing down your bid and they outbid you without you knowing. Well, we don't want that to happen, because we want the most amount of bids, the most amount of money to come in for Brighter Beginnings. So if you've bid on an item and you really want it, well, you'll get a notification as soon as someone outbids you, and then you know to go back in and get another bid on that. Or you can just do the auto bid. That's a simple way to be able to just lock in that item you really want. You know you're willing to spend up to X amount on that item, whatever that amount happens to be. And that way, every time someone outbids you, it just automatically outbids them back by a small increment until it hits your high bid. And then you'll get a notification letting you know that it's hit your high bid limit, and you can go back in and go from there. Now, the online bidding is going to continue all the way until Friday at 8 p.m. Then 7:50 on Friday is when the bid wars begin. And we'll tell you more about that coming up in just a little bit. Lots of different categories, over 65 different items that you can be able to bid on in the online auction right now. And they're broken up into different categories. So you can search everything, or you can look at different categories and the items within that. Now, one of those items is vacations. And I know for most of us, vacations have meant going from the living room out to the backyard over the last several months. Well, how about something else to look forward to, like a Groveland weekend stay? It is item number 18, and you can see by the picture just a gorgeous view there. They have the oldest bar and restaurant in Northern California. It's real close to Yosemite National Park, and it is amazingly beautiful and something to look forward to as we're getting through all the time here that we've had to be staying at home and haven't been able to go out. Plan something with your family and be able to help out Brighter Beginnings. Now, one of the other items under the vacation category is the one-night stay at the Claremont Hotel and Spa. Oh my goodness, this would be an incredible, incredible night stay there. And what you can see is just a gorgeous spa and club. It's on the border of Oakland and Berkeley, and the view is amazing of San Francisco Bay and the North Bay area, and just be able to get away from it all without having to go very far. And that is item number 29. Lots of other items as well under that on the vacation category. But you know, as we are making it through our event today, the items that are on the online auction, this event itself is all possible because of you and because of the wonderful sponsors that help to make it happen. And we want to thank some of those sponsors right now. Kaiser Permanente, thank you so much for all that you have done and all you've been a part of in helping to make this happen. Also, the Ford store in Morgan Hill, Mariani and John Salmon, the Sutter Health and the Sutter Delta Medical Center, just some of those. And the volunteers and the staff there at Brighter Beginnings, their hard work does not go unnoticed. It's how all of this happens. One of those, named Lucy, I got a chance to chat with Lucy several times, and Lucy is such an amazing young lady and been such a great part of it. We're going to be talking to her coming up in just a little bit. And also, as we had mentioned some of the other sponsors, here we go. John Muir Health, the Mechanics Bank, and Marcus and Millichap. And one of those sponsors as well, Barbara's own son, Noah.
Now, Noah, you have such a different perspective than most people do, because you literally grew up around Brighter Beginnings. And so you've seen it as a child. You've seen the love and the inspiration that the program gives to so many families. And now as an adult, continuing, not just because Barb is your mom, but because you believe in it, you've seen it, you've felt it, and you know the impact that it makes. And to where you're a monetary sponsor now this year of the program as well.
One of the ideals of Brighter Beginnings that I really believe in is the sense of community. And me growing up as a kid, I actually have a twin brother. So my brother and I, growing up as kids in the household with my mom, we grew up in a kind of like a hippie household, I guess you'd call it. So I grew up in a family and a culture of inclusivity. We had African American friends, we had Native American friends, we had friends with two moms or two dads. And, in those times, we didn't really have labels. We just had friends and aunts and uncles and, people that we hung out with. So growing up in that environment, my mom and my dad, they actually met as wards in a psychiatric facility. I was born outside of a halfway house that tried to help schizophrenics get back into quasi-normal life, so to say. As early as I can remember, my mom was in the business of helping people. And that is kind of instilled in my brother and I at a very young age. So I guess you could say it's in my blood. And then as we've gotten older, as my mom went from kind of like small community-based organizations to bigger and bigger organizations and bigger nonprofits. I've seen that influence grow, and now that Brighter Beginnings as an organization has expanded and now offers services like mental health and clinical health and hospital services, it's amazing how we've been able to take that culture of inclusivity and that culture of togetherness and that culture of community and really tried to spread the message and organize it in a clinical way to try and bring that message to underserved communities.
Well, and it's looking at things as a family unit, as a whole, and then also being able to expand that out to community, because community, as you said, growing up, that is your family. Whether there's blood involved or not, the people that are around you that impact you for good or bad, are all part of your evolution. And that part of Brighter Beginnings that is so much about the community as a whole and what that impact has on each individual component of that community, of that family as a whole there in the Bay Area. That is really powerful.
Brighter Beginnings is an organization where I am 100% confident the contributions I make will go to services that make a direct impact to the people that we're trying to serve. I know just from my background, there's not a lot of waste and not a lot of overhead at Brighter Beginnings. A lot of the contributions go directly towards services rendered to the people who need the most help. And so, my message to everyone out there is I believe in it. I gave my hard-earned money towards it, and I really implore you all to do the same.
Well, you can see Brighter Beginnings really is all about family. And for Noah and the Schmidt family, thank you so much for being very generous sponsors. And thank you for your wonderful mother, Barb. As we've had a chance to find out more about Barb and about the staff, we're going to find out more over the course of this hour in our Playing Together virtual event for Brighter Beginnings, celebrating American Family Day, because that is what this is all about. It's what Brighter Beginnings is all about. It's about family, the strength of family, the health of family, mentally, physically, financially, in all ways. Brighter Beginnings wants to be able to treat and help and to teach all areas of a family and their health. We want to thank some of the folks that are watching today, the Rios family watching right now. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Lisa in Boise. So really, we are everywhere. Lita, Jody, Cindy in California as well. Mariani, Salmon, and the Sasana family. Claudia in Discovery Bay, just some of the folks that are watching and being a part of our virtual event today for Brighter Beginnings. Now, if you're watching, what questions do you have? Do you have questions about some of the services, some of the ways to be able to help with Brighter Beginnings? Or where are you watching? We want to be able to say hi to you and your family, because on this National Family Day, that's what it's all about. That's what Brighter Beginnings is all about, is family. So let us be able to recognize you and your family, and maybe share with us some of your favorite items on the auction block. Maybe you're looking for a vacation, maybe you're looking for jewelry, or just a way to be able to help out with Brighter Beginnings, or maybe you're looking for some wine. Now, in case you haven't had enough wine over the last 4 months, we've got some great wine experiences for you. Go under wine item number 2, 2 Zinfandels from Rosenblum Cellars, and wine tasting for 4. Just a delicious bottle of 2016 Maggie's Reserve Sonoma Valley Zinfandel from Rosenblum Cellars. And that is item number 2 that you can be able to get your bids in on right now. Also under the wine category, Robert Sininski Wine and Food Experience. So the wine's made by Robert Sinsky Vineyards in Napa, and going to be paired with food and having a complete wine and food tasting experience, and be able to enjoy that with a couple other folks that you know and love and would want to be able to have that experience with. And that's what this is all about. Experience with friends, experience with family, because as we talked about with Noah, your friends, your community, that is your family. That's your extended family, and being able to have those experience, those moments with them is what this is all about. Now, we had mentioned a few minutes ago the staff at Brighter Beginnings and what incredible work they do, and tireless work, and even more now than ever before through the pandemic. It has made being able to get those services and those programs and the things to the families, whether it's food or the medical help and the telehealth programs that are involved now, they found new ways to be able to persevere. And one of those staff members that has worked so hard, and I was honored to be able to talk to, was Lucy. Well, hi, Lucy.
Hi.
How did your first interactions with Brighter Beginnings start?
I was born and raised here in Oakland, and I'm a first-generation college student, so I witnessed a lot of health disparities growing up, which led me to go into higher education. I always thought that I needed to go to a third world country to make a difference in the world, and then when I came back home, I realized that literally in my backyard, there were people who needed the help, right? And Brighter Beginnings is actually 5 minutes away from our Oakland location. And so when I saw that there was an organization that shared the same core beliefs that I did, I applied. And so I began as a program assistant for Early Head Start, which helps with the development of children and making sure that they're reaching their developmental milestones. And so being in a nonprofit, people are very, very, very limited to how much time they can allocate to get resources. So there were kids who are monolingual speaking in Spanish, and they wanted books, right? And there was I remember the first grant I applied for was for $1,000 for there to be a reading celebration. And so I reached out to the development team during that time, and I was like, hey, I know you're busy, but can I apply to this grant? And they said, yeah, like, go for it. And so I applied. I was able to get books for all these kids that were in Spanish, some of them, right? Because not everyone was monolingual Spanish speaking. But what I noticed was that a lot of the parents were actually learning as well as the children, right? Because they were reading books and understanding stories. that they wouldn't have if the book was in English only. One of the motivations with the reading celebration was that moms, dads, parent figures would come together and celebrate reading, right? And they would get food and gifts, right? So yeah, and their parent-child educators or home visitors would continue motivating these families after these events, right? During their visits.
And that's all possible because of Brighter Beginnings.
Yeah, so the position opened up in development. I was like, let me just go for it. And Barbara's been really, really supportive, everyone in the agency. Like, I really consider this a home. I have referred friends of mine that I went to college with that work for the agency now. My baby sister works for the agency as well. So it's an organization that I really believe in the work that we do. And so I share that with everyone around me.
Well, thank you so much for taking some time, and thanks for all you do with the kids and with the families. It's so, so important, and that's why we're all here today.
Thank you, Corey.
You know, those are two words that you're going to hear a lot. You already have heard quite a bit, and you're going to hear it a lot more, and that's thank you. Those two words are not even powerful enough to truly express what the staff, what the families, most importantly, have to say to you and your support, for your love, for your generosity. Thank you so much. Now, we have looked at some of the amazing over 65 different items that are out there for you to be able to bid on. And we looked at vacations, and yes, you'll have those photos from your night stays or your vacation getaways that you get in the online auction, which, by the way, is open until Friday at 8 o'clock. When you're looking at maybe the bottle of wine or the different bottles or experiences that they have from the wine and food tastings, every time you think about that, you'll remember the experience, but you'll also remember what it was about, and that was being able to support these families, these children, through the services of Brighter Beginnings. Our next category is art, and this is a great way to be able to enjoy a beautiful piece of artwork for your home, for your office, and every time you look at it, or when someone comes in and asks you about it, you say, yeah, it's beautiful, but here's why I got it, and it makes it even more beautiful. Like item number 11, the Edith C. Brady watercolor painting. Gorgeous, of the California Redwoods. It is a local Walnut Creek artist. Edith does amazing work, and this is not a print. This is an original watercolor, and you can get your bids in right now. Item number 11 under the art category. Now, here's another one at item number 14, Flower Paintings by Cecilia Brown. These art pieces were recently featured in an art gallery. They are seen all around the country and all around the world, and you can have them in your home right now. Get the bids in on item number 14 for the Flower Paintings by Cecilia Brown. Now, we had a Facebook question, how do I get involved with Brighter Beginnings? Well, that's a great question. There are so many ways to be able to do that. You can go to brighter-beginnings.org, and there's ways to be able to contact them right on there. Send an email. There's volunteer opportunities. There's internships. There's also sponsorship opportunities. If you have a business, or maybe you know someone that is a business owner around the Bay Area, or not, anywhere that wants to be able to support families, that wants to be able to support children, you can be able to support the cause as a sponsor. And we'd like to thank our sponsors once again, because we couldn't do this without their support. Of course, Marcus and Millichap, also Mechanics Bank, John Muir Health, Sutter Heath, Sutter Delta Medical Center, also the Schmitz family, the Ford store, a little south of the Bay Area there in Morgan Hill, Kaiser Permanente, and Mariani and John Salmon. Now, Mariani is also, besides a sponsor, she's also a board member, and she has a very close connection to the families that are being benefited by Brighter Beginnings. And I chatted with Mariani just a few days ago about it.
Well, first of all, thank you for taking some time with us, Mariani.
Well, I'm happy to be here. As you know, Brighter Beginnings is a very important organization to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And with very, very good reason. You have a very special story that leads you to your love and passion for what Brighter Beginnings does.
I do. You know, as having been a single parent at 21, I got help to finish college and to pursue my own life goals. And what I have seen Brighter Beginnings do the same thing. They work with very motivated young parents and provide them kind of that extra little resource that can just make the difference in kind of taking those steps forward.
You had that family support around you. Not everyone always has that. And without it, it can go to a very unfortunate place.
That's right. I remember Barbara saying a number of years ago that sometimes it's just that little bit of extra help. And that certainly was my experience.
You know, it's always finding those blessings. And for whatever path that is, you need help along it. And Brighter Beginnings gives that love. It gives that support. And as we've talked about a lot during this event, is the fact that it can get so dark and so lonely when you think, and the despair takes over, when you think you're all by yourself. And I'm sure you had those moments along the way. But then there was that support. And that's what Brighter Beginnings gives to so many families, and is in such a challenge now with the pandemic and with the world the way it is. Their challenges are even more so now, but they persevere and they continue to find ways to be able to help these families.
Yeah, I've just seen Brighter Beginnings over the years continue to adapt, to identify sort of the missing piece that the community needs. And for years we were known, you know, pretty much strictly for teen young parents, and we added elements along the way, including mental health support and now primary health care. And along with that is staff that they have, many of them have walked in my shoes and in the shoes of the clients. And they're so devoted to the success of the families.
So for the folks that are right now that are watching, and if you had this moment, and you do, because it's all yours, to be able to tell them why they should give right now, why they should bid high, bid often on the items that we have, what would you tell them?
It changes lives. You know, I know from my own observations that the people that are involved, that choose to be involved with Brighter Beginnings, they take the lessons learned and apply it. And they're making a better life for themselves and their children.
Mariani, thank you so much.
And to all of the sponsors, all the volunteers, all the different board members and staff, and to our families that work so hard to make it through. And with the help of Brighter Beginnings, their life is better, their children's lives. And it means that their children's children is going to have a better life. It is going to continue for generations. So your generosity right now is really setting the foundation for healthier families throughout the Bay Area for decades and generations to come. So thank you. Remember those two words I said you were going to hear a lot tonight, and that is thank you. Now, if you're just joining us because we saw a bunch of new viewers just came on for the party here on our first virtual event for Brighter Beginnings here on a American Family Day, and that's what we are celebrating. It is all about family. You can be able to be a part of it if you have not already. Then go ahead and get registered. That could win you a $100 Amazon gift card. And for sharing that out and getting more people registered to be able to look at all the amazing items, over 65 different items for you to be able to bid on all the way through 8 p.m. this Friday Pacific time, with the bid war starting at 7:50. By referring that out, i.e. sharing that out and getting others to sign up for the online auction, doesn't cost anything. And that could get you another $100 gift card from Amazon as well. Just a little thank you for all of your love and support for Brighter Beginnings. Now, some of our items here, we've gone over artwork. We've talked about some of the items in the vacation category, the wine category. Now I'm talking to the sports fans, and specifically the NFL fans around the Bay Area, because we've got lots of wonderful items in the sports category, but two of those items, one of them is old number 80. Jerry Rice, item number 1, 49ers autographed jersey with Jerry Rice, number 80, for all of the amazing catches in the touchdowns that he made throughout his career. Certificate of authenticity coming along with it as well. And this is an amazing piece of sports memorabilia, NFL Bay Area memorabilia for you to be able to have. Now, if you're like me and you're a fan of the other side of the Bay, we have Marcus Allen autographed Raiders jersey as well, from when he got on the field as a rookie all the way through his career, the amazing runs, the amazing touchdowns, the Super Bowl wins for the black and silver, and Hall of Fame number 3, Marcus Allen. It is autographed, and you can be able to have that up in your home and tell all of your friends about how you got this and how you supported Brighter Beginnings. Now, if you are a divided house, hey, it happens. I've spent a good number of years in the Bay Area with a divided house. So if one of you is a 49ers fan, one of you is an Oakland fan, we'll bid on both of those, and then you can each put them on, and you can have it out once we ever get to see football once again in the Bay Area. So that's just some of the many, many different sports category items on the online auction. So go and get those bids in. And if you want to find out more about Brighter Beginnings, go to brighter-beginnings.org. Like our latest question that just came in on Facebook. Where are they located? Well, there's the couple of clinics. There's one in Antioch, there's one in Richmond, and you can be able to find out more details about locations and services and all of that just by going to brighter-beginnings.org. Now, some of the items that you're going to look at throughout this came because of all the sponsors and because of all the generosity and donations that have been happening along the way. And the people that have gotten so passionate about this and for these families, I think comes a lot because of the CEO of Brighter Beginnings, Barb, and her passion. You see it, you hear it in everything that she does, everything that she talks about. She eats, breathes, and sleeps Brighter Beginnings, and more importantly, these families, and giving the best in the services and the best of care to all of the families. And here you can see for yourself in the conversation with Barb that I had.
It's been so nice getting to know you and Lucy and some of the staff, and to hear about the amazing work that you've done for so many years with Brighter Beginnings. And, with all of the charities and the wonderful organizations that are out there, I think through any nonprofit, you find good times, you find great times, and you find, challenging times. But I don't know if any, and including Brighter Beginnings, has found a challenge like we found during this time here with COVID.
The thousands of patients and clients that we serve, most of them are now on Zoom. Our clinics are open, and we're trying to bring in more of the visits that have been delayed because of COVID. But there are things that you do have to, see your doctor for that you can't do remotely. We're finding ways to work around even that. But it has been an extremely challenging time. And let me tell you, the hardest part is when it gets close to home, and we have a staff family right now that's in the hospital, and that just really brings it home. And yesterday I had like 4 members of our staff who called in and said that they've been exposed by a family member, and then we have put that protocol in place. So, it's like day to day, it just, it's a real challenge, but that's nothing like the challenge of the families that we're working with. What we have been so encouraged by is that over the since March, rather than losing patients and losing clients because of just not being able to, see them, we've grown. So that that tells us is that the ability to communicate, sometimes just on a phone without even a picture, but just communicating with someone and knowing that they care, we care. We do have professionals who can provide excellent advice. We can still be doing prescriptions, and they can get their prescriptions refilled, and we can do the essential services that people depend on us for. And what's been so encouraging is that even without the physical touch, we are connecting. And we are connecting in ways that build up our confidence and our desire to keep on doing this as long as we have to, because we're keeping those connections strong, and we know that we're needed, and we know that we're helping. That is, what more can you ask for?
Absolutely. Barb, thank you so much for what you do for your staff. Please give them the virtual hug from all of us.
Absolutely.
To say
I'm learning a lot about virtual hug.
And let's do it tonight. We've got a lot of great items for you to be able to bid on. If you are moved by all the work that happens with Brighter Beginnings, and I don't know how you can be, I hope that you give right now. And let's make a difference for all of these families, and let's keep that hope alive and the passion alive.
Thank you all. Thank you all for joining us. And please know that your gifts help us deliver these vital services to people who really need it. And thank you again, Corey, for helping us do this.
Absolutely. It's my honor. Let's do it.
All right.
And we are doing it right now. More importantly, you're doing it right now with each and every one of your donations, each and every one of your online bids, with the bids open until Friday at 8 p.m. 7:50 is when the bid wars are going to happen on Friday night. Now, I mentioned it earlier, hadn't explained it yet. With the bid wars, again, it's all about everyone having the opportunity, especially at the end, because a lot of times in your traditional galas and fundraisers, you didn't have that because someone would sneak behind you, get in that last second bid right as they're ripping the paper off the table, and you didn't get it. And most importantly, the charity didn't get your money as well because you didn't have the opportunity. That's not going to happen with the bid wars, because at 7:50, every bid that comes in that last 10 minutes is going to extend the time by a little bit. You'll get a notification that you got outbid. You can get back on there and you can bid again or put a new auto bid on there. And each time there's a bid, it extends it just a little while longer until there is only one person left for each one of those items. And that's when the auction will officially close. So there you go. Get on there and check out the different categories. Like, well, we've talked about vacations. We talked about wine. We've talked about sports. Well, as my fiance says, how about the shiny stuff? Yes, we're going to talk about the jewelry category here for a minute. And there's some beautiful jewelry. The Sacred Arts lapis and copper hematite necklace. This is item number 23, and it is gorgeous. Whether you're going to a fancy night out on the town, or if you're just wanting to have a fun, sassy, bright, beautiful piece of jewelry around, it is handcrafted and blessed in India, and it can be all yours right now for your bid on item number 23. So get those bids in on that. And there's lots of different items for you to look at, like item number 60 as well. Kendra Scott rose gold druzy set. Now this, yes, has this gorgeous necklace that you can see right there. It includes the Ever necklace, rose and gold druzy, and the Edie bracelet, rose gold druzy as well. So you've got the matching pair. You can dress it all up, wear each one individually, but know that as you look at it, as you wear it, as people comment on how beautiful it is, you can be able to talk about the beautiful cause that the money was that you got the event from, that you got this wonderful item for, that you were able to benefit Brighter Beginnings, that you were able to make a child's life better, a family's life better, and you got this beautiful necklace and bracelet out of it. That's really a win-win for everyone right there. Want to thank some of the new viewers as well that came to be a part of our American Family Day virtual event with Brighter Beginnings. Stephen in Sacramento. Thank you, buddy, very much for being a part of this. Also, the Phillips family in Seattle. So really, people are coming in from all over and are moved and are wanting to be able to give and to help make a difference with these families. And that is with your donations and your online bids to be able to support the wonderful programs that Brighter Beginnings has. Also, the Padilla family down in the Salinas area over there in Seaside, just a little south of the Bay Area and the Central Coast. Thank you to the Padilla family for being a part of it, and for you and for your family. Thank you so much. Question just came in. What programs are offered? Well, that's a great question, actually. There are a lot, and it has grown so much over the years since 1984 when Brighter Beginnings first started. Now with mental health services, financial coaching, early childhood development, the Head Start and early Head Start programs, the prenatal care that is so very vital for the mother, but then also the Daddy and Me programs, to be able to show fathers sometimes if they weren't taught. It's not just an innate ability to be a father. If you weren't taught with a good role model on how to be a good father and to be present in this family, you don't know how to do that. Well, Brighter Beginnings helps with that. So they are really helping the health and the well-being of every family and every facet of every family. And one of those programs, as I had mentioned, was the Head Start and the early Head Start programs. And really what they do for the children is just amazing. And here's a little bit more about that.
Hi, my name is Angelica Ayala, and I'm currently the proud Senior Program Manager overseeing the Early Head Start Home-Based program with Brighter Beginnings. I personally have been with the organization for over 10 years. In our Early Head Start program, we are serving 108 families. 108 families living here in Oakland, 108 families who have little ones aging 0 to 5 in the home, and 108 families whose life have drastically changed over the last few months. Because of the current pandemic and in response to the current pandemic, our program services are looking a little different. Our parent-child educators, or PCEs, are no longer going into the clients' homes and providing that weekly individualized 90-minute home visit. Instead, we have transitioned into e-visits. This means that on a weekly, regular basis, every family on our program is receiving an individualized call by their parent-child educator to check in on them, to make sure them and their families are doing okay, to provide resources, complete applications, all via the phone. More so to also ensure they're getting information about what is happening in the community. We have continued our amazing partnerships with programs like Alameda Food Bank and City of Oakland, Help a Mother Out. We are ensuring that every family has food and diapers during this time of need. Our parent-child educators are dropping off and offering deliveries on a weekly basis. We are ensuring that every family has what they need during this time of crisis. The parent-child interaction continues to be strong, and so does the relationship between their PCE and the family.
So thank you, Angie, for telling us some more about the Head Starts and the early Head Start programs and all of the parent-child education experiences. And that's just one component of Brighter Beginnings, because there are so many. And as We had found out earlier with just how well they have tried to adapt to all the changes. They've done that anyways as a program to find the best ways to be able to reach and to give the services to the families. And now through the pandemic, they've had to find even more new ways to be able to reach and still provide the much needed and the life-saving services in many cases to all of the families that they provide services to. Now, with all of the online auction items still being on the auction block all the way up until 8 p.m. on Friday, bid war starting at 7:50. We talked about lots of different categories and fun experiences. Well, experiences is exactly what we're going to talk about this time, because we've had so little in the way of experiences. That's why we're doing this virtually right now. But you know what? One of the things that we have found, and through all of this and doing the virtual fundraising, is we've actually been able to reach even more people. Because before, if you weren't able to be there at the gala or the dinner or the fundraiser physically, well, you weren't able to be a part of it. You weren't able to give. Well, now, as you share this out to your friends and family all around the country and all around the world, they can be able to be there and support Brighter Beginnings. They are able to support these families and these children without being able to physically be there in one location. So experiences, that's what this is all about. And there is a category in the online auction called experiences. I know for a while the experiences, the best ones I had was going from the kitchen back to the living room and then repeating a few more times, wearing out the refrigerator door. Well, we've got some much more fun experiences for you on the online auction with Auction Frogs right now, like this one, Mexican Fiesta for 50, or as Brad with Ellsberg Studio and I were just talking about, Fiesta for the two of us. I am all about this. This looks amazing and was going to taste even better. So it is, you can throw a fiesta for 50 of your closest friends. They're going to provide the food. You don't have to worry about the cleanup or any of that. Or like my idea, you can just package each one and you got 50 meals for one person. Just freeze those off. You're eating for a couple of months right there. Also, another little more intimate experience, but equally as wonderful, is item number 66, a 5-course fine dining dinner party for 10 in your home. Now, 5 courses. You're going to get the full treatment right in your beautiful home, your favorite music, your rules, your wine, and a top-rated chef that is going to be cooking in your kitchen. Exquisitely crafted dishes. Probably even learn a few tips and tricks along the way on some of the ways that they're able to make your delicious dinner, or just sit back and enjoy your friends and family for this 5-course fine dining dinner party for 10. Item number 66 is the one that you can be able to get those bids on right now. Well, we're coming to a time now as we're down to the last minutes of our virtual event. But remember, the online auction is going to go all the way until Friday at 8 o'clock. Bid wars are going to start at 7:50. And I hope you are bidding on items, that you found ones that are your favorites, whether it's some of the wine packages or vacation getaways or some of the artwork or jewelry. Over 65 items that are on there. There's some wonderful items, but the biggest thing, I want you to be able to get those. I hope you win the $100 Amazon gift card. But this is really all about giving. It's all about supporting our families, the children. It's all about the services that are provided to them by Brighter Beginnings.
And now, how have you seen the effects that on the programs that Brighter Beginnings have with all the different the clinics and things in that mental state of the clients?
Well, first of all, mostly I work with the clinicians who are seeing the clients, so I'm kind of one removed in a way, but I definitely hear all the stories and read the reports and see all the notes. And I guess what I would say is my first level of concern is the clinicians, because, wow, not only are they having to serve families who are extra stressed out, but they're having to hold the stress up themselves. And so I have to be able to provide that support for them so that they can go out and do their jobs in the facing of all of that, their own anxieties about the pandemic, their own anxieties about how they might be affecting their own family. So back to your question about the clients, we are able to provide some different and new things for our families that we hadn't been able to provide in the past. And the most direct thing that we're doing that's different is doing telehealth, which has been a limitation in the past due to some rules and regulations, which have now magically been lifted. And it's not perfect yet by any means. But it is a way for us to provide services to clients who we otherwise would not be able to provide services to. So telehealth can be very challenging with certain clients that might have attention issues. They might be not able to find privacy in their home. And so we're just rolling with all of that, honestly. We're just doing the best we can to still keep our rapport with our children, our families. On the plus side, what's been happening is we have been able to get some parents more involved in therapy who in the past were unable to show up for therapy due to their job demands. So that has been a beautiful thing. I've been able to see clinical notes where parents are way more involved, and some of the kids' symptoms are actually calming because mom is being able to provide more of the support and attention that the child needs in order to make progress on their treatment. So one of the negatives I want to just point out, because there definitely are negatives here, is that not all of our families have access to technology. So that has definitely been problematic. And we just read an article, I want to say it was LA Times, that was talking about the difference in access to technology that the Latinx community does not have. And it is showing up in therapy as well. So often our families maybe only have their mom's cell phone to do therapy on, which is not really imperfect. And so we have done things like buy them a tripod, and we've delivered play therapy toys to them, and maybe bought some games for the family so they can have connection time. We've done some things to sort of build that up. But if the family doesn't have Wi-Fi or a laptop or access to a smartphone, that isn't happening. So there are cases where we are very precautiously meeting with clients, wearing a mask and gloves and trying to still do therapy services. We sometimes have to back away from that depending on what's happening with the family and their health, but we're still trying. So there is that digital divide is becoming very apparent in the work that we're doing as well.
Thank you for your efforts and all of your clinicians and the folks that are out there and trying. And that's all any of us can do together. And that's what we're doing here tonight, is trying. And everyone's little part, whether it's $1, whether it's bidding on some of the items in the online auction, every little bit added together, that's where we're going to be able to continue to make the difference. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Sandra, thank you so much. And that is such a important thing to remember, is the stress through all of this time, the stress for the families, the stress for the kids, because they know if mom and dad are stressed about what's happening, the kids know that. Absolutely. And we all know this. So these services are being done by people that are feeling the same things with their families. So remember, we're all in this together. All of us being a little kinder, a little more gentle in the way that we speak to the people around us, and reminding everyone, and ourselves most importantly, we're all in this together and we can make a difference. And here is how you get to make that difference with your love and your support and all of the wonderful bids that you're putting in on the online auction. Let's remember that tonight, this event, it is all about these families. It's all about these children and how they are benefited because of you and because of Brighter Beginnings.
Brighter Beginnings has been working in Alameda and Contra Costa County neighborhoods since 1984. but their mission is timeless. Every family matters, and every child deserves a happy, healthy future. Over the years, Brighter Beginnings has developed an array of programs that help their clients cope with personal, familial, and economic problems. Right now, in the face of a global pandemic, those programs are more important than ever. The families served by Brighter Beginnings are disproportionately families of color that are at the highest risk of poor health outcomes, including the risk of getting sick from COVID-19. Brighter Beginnings needs your support so they can continue to provide crucial services to vulnerable families in our community. Your donation will help these families receive essential services, including food, diapers, counseling, and more. Donate today and help Brighter Beginnings save lives.
All right, so however much you have the ability to be able to give, now whether you have bids on online auctions or maybe there's not an item that you see that you want to bid on, which I know that would be pretty difficult with over 65 that are there, but maybe you just are moved by the stories of the families, the services that are provided by Brighter Beginnings for these families, for these children. Families and children that you may never see. You may never get to shake their hand or watch the impact that Brighter Beginnings has. But just knowing that you have been able to make a difference, not just a little one, a profound difference in a child's life, in a family's life, and you're making our society, our world, our community a stronger and better place by supporting Brighter Beginnings. You can go to item number 1,000, and this is just a way just to donate, to give whatever amount you're comfortable giving. Want to thank Jody Parsons for your donation. Also, Richard Wong. Richard, thank you so much. Raj just put in a donation as well, and they're coming in one after another. Please keep those coming. I know we had a comment earlier in a Facebook message saying they wanted to make a donation and they were sorry because all they had was, I don't remember what it was, $20, $25. Please don't ever apologize for giving what you have the ability to be able to give, because guess what? Your $20 with Richard's $100, with someone else's $50, all of that added together, that's where true miracles happen. Not one of us by ourselves. We can't make the difference, but that is the power of community, because all of us together, we can be able to make a difference. All of it added together truly does make miracles happen. So it is item number 1,000, and you just slide that dial over to make it meaningful for you. Maybe you have 5 kids and you want to give $20 for each one of those kids that are healthy and doing well. And so they're $100 to be able to say, yes, in celebration of my healthy family, I want to give this. Or maybe it's however many grandkids you have, or whatever that is that makes it personal for you. That's what makes it personal and real for these families that are benefiting. So thank you. Thank you so much. And remember, you can be able to make these donations all the way until 8 o'clock on Friday. But really, if you go to brighter-beginnings.org, they're always looking for support, sponsorship, volunteers. There's internship programs that are available. So you can always give beyond just this event. But the online auction, that's going to go until 8 o'clock this Friday, Pacific time. 7:50 is when the bid wars are going to start, and those are a lot of fun. It's a good way to be able to get in with other people that care about this program and to have a little healthy battle on being able to get some of those items. So again, on behalf of Brighter Beginnings and all the staff and Barb and the volunteers, and most importantly, on behalf of these families, on behalf of these beautiful children, thank you. Thank you for your love and support. I hope you have an amazing rest of your Sunday. And let's keep those bids coming in. Please share this with all your friends. Share it with all of your family members. Get it out there. There is still plenty of time to be able to give and to be able to make that difference. Together, we can do it.